Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for my favorite time of the year, sweater weather. I am so ready for cooler days and the beautiful fall foliage. In today's video, I am taking 3 pumpkins that I already have and giving them a rustic primitive fall look. Let's get started on pumpkin number 1. So I have this hard plastic pumpkin. It's really hard. Not even styrofoam inside, I'm sure. And it has the jute on it, but as you can see, it's kind of a metallic gold. I don't like the leaves. I don't like the stem. I like these little curly cues. I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to pull everything out here. Get these curly cues to come off. Use them for another project down the line. And I'm probably going to have to really dig that little rope stem out. Alright, I have everything out and I'm making some pieces that I want to glue onto my pumpkin. I just have these small beads here and some of this string, and I'm just stringing them up. I'm doing about 17 of these small beads on here. I don't want them to go all the way under, just down so far. So I'm just taking these, and I have a needle at the end, and I'm just making these little strings. I also have this trim here that I want to use. And I have some of this cream colored twine and some regular jute. And I'm also going to take this other string that I have and I'm going to braid it. Alright, so here's all my pieces that I did here of my beads and my braids, and here's everything that I'm going to work with. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue on this white pom-pommy looking trim. I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to go ahead and get that glued on. Just like this. And then I'm going to take the beads that I did and cover up the flat part of the trim. I get it to hold on here, my goodness. This thing is kind of slick. And I'm just trying to see where I want to place it at because it's not going to go all the way underneath. Alright, there we go. And then I want to start adding some of my other pieces. I also have this rope. I'm going to be cutting the jute into pieces here and hot gluing each piece one by one. Now I'm doing 2 pieces of the jute here, and then I'm going to take a piece of this cream colored twine and glue right next to it. And I'm just going to be repeating this mainly with the jute and the twine, and then I'm going to add randomly, some more of these other pieces in here. Alright, so here is what I've done so far. And this takes a long time to do, so I'm not going to have this on camera, but I will show you more of my progress here. Alright, so now I have this almost done. I have 2 more little sections to go. And I also found this trim. I forgot I had it, and I started placing it in there too. I love this little trim. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this finished, and we're going to put a real pumpkin stem on here. Alright, now to tell you, this took me a couple hours to do. I was watching a movie as I did it, but it is fun to do. So here is a pumpkin stem that I have, and I thought this would be perfect for it. So I'm just going to hot glue it on, just going to put tons of hot glue, and it just happens to fit perfectly in this little hole. Just press it down in here. That looks like that covers correctly. Alright, you could just leave it like this, but you know me, I need to add some embellishments to this. Now I'm going to be taking some of these leaves and some of these little pieces from a pick. I'm going to take 2 of these of the smaller leaves on this pick here. You can get these from this pick from Hobby Lobby, and I think this one's from Hobby Lobby too. And then I like this beigey looking one. Yeah, I like that. Just one beige. We'll do two of the orangey brown and one of the beige. I'm going to go ahead and get these hot glued on. And I'm going to put this one down just a little bit lower because I'm going to be adding things above it. Alright, I have this pick here. Then I want to cut some of these berries off. I also want to add a little bit of this burlap ribbon on here. I'm not going to make a bow. I'm just going to take it and bunch it up and put some wire around it and twist it up. I'm just going to hot glue it right there. I also have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I did the burlap piece. Just glue it down right there. And then I want to use some of these berries off of this pick. I'm just going to cut a few pieces off. And now I'm just going to start gluing some of these pieces on. And I'm also going to use a real acorn here and another one about right there. I think that looks really pretty. But you know what? I need to add a little bit more. This is a piece that came off of another pick and I just cut it in half. I'm going to use both pieces. I think about right there for that one. Okay. Then I feel like I need to cover up some of these spots in the back. Just going to use some more of those berries that I used on the front just to cover up the bare spots. And I want to do one more piece right here. Alright, I think that looks really, really pretty, but I'm not quite done yet. One more thing. So what I want to do is I want to take this round wooden plaque here and I want to put it on the bottom. I'm just going to hot glue it on because I'm probably going to want to put this on a candlestick and it's so lumpy. I think this will help. Alright, so I painted it with my jute color and then I took my dark antique wax and went over it just to darken it in some spots and on the bottom. And now it's ready to be hot glued on. So I'm just going to put a lot of hot glue around the edge here because I know it's not going to fit in the center. Don't want to waste any glue, just put a lot around the edge. And then I will place the pumpkin on top of it. I think I'll do it this way instead. Make sure I get it right. Alright, and there it is. I think that looks so cute, and I like the little base on it. Now let's get started on the number 2 and number 3 pumpkins. So I have these yardsticks that I got from the thrift store a few years ago. I can't remember, at least 4 or 5. And I want to paint them. So this is one of them. And I also have this one too. They're metal. And I'm going to be taking off the metal leaves. I don't want to use that. And I'm going to take off the stake. I don't need the stake. And I should just be able to pull these stakes off. All right, I have everything pulled off there, those stakes, and now I am just going to take my wire cutters and snip the back here. And like I said, I'm going to save these pieces for another project. I just don't want to use metal leaves on here. And I'm taking this off here because this isn't going to hang, and I'm going to be doing something to the stems also. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is with both pumpkins here, I'm going to give it 2 coats of black paint for each pumpkin. But I'm not going to paint the stem. I don't need to. I'm going to do something else with it. Let's go ahead and get these painted. All right, now that I have my 2 coats of black on here, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster, and I'm probably going to have to do a few coats on top of here. So I'm going to do it just a little bit lightly. I don't want to do it too heavy. And then once it's dry, we can get started on the pumpkin here. So one thing I'm playing around with is making a really cute stem for these. And this one I'm doing a little curly cue, and I just made it out of aluminum foil. And I need to attach it here. So I have this piece here that I'm going to be wrapping around, and I'm just going to have to hot glue it to the stem, but you can see what I'm going to be doing here. So let me go ahead and get this attached. All right. Just going to put some hot glue here on the back side and a little bit on the front. And then I have some more pieces here that's going to help me connect my little curly cue. And I'm just going to keep adding pieces and gluing them down till I get to the desired thickness of the stem. Alright, so here's the stem, and what I'm going to be doing is taking some cheesecloth and some Mod Podge with a little bit of water and going around it. But first, I want to go ahead and get my pumpkin all scuffed up with some sandpaper. Gotta rustic it up just a little bit here. And I'm using a 120 grit here, and it seems to be taking forever. So I'm going to switch to an 80 grit. Much faster. I like how you can see all the details. I thought it looked nicer to do it with the sandpaper instead of trying to put paint over it. Alright, now that that is done, I am taking that cheesecloth, I'm putting it in my Mod Podge and water mixture, and I'm just going to be wrapping the stem with this, and I'm probably going to have to do it twice. And that's all you need to do. You can also use paper towels if you want to. Alright, now that I have both of my stems done and they're dry, I'm taking my colored jute and I'm going to be painting them both. And I'm not worrying about painting down below the stem because that's going to get covered up. I have to tell you, I just really love this colored jute by Chromacoat. It's really a nice beige color. So I'm going to get both those done. I'm going to let them dry, and while I'm waiting, I have this maple leaf wood cut out. I'm just going to take my dark antique wax and put on both sides. All right. And what I want to do is I have this jute string here that I'm taking some of my wood beads. The brown ones are actually from a necklace. They're wooden. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of painter's tape here. And I'm just going to stick my beads on. I'm going to put 5 beads on here. And I will be doing 2 of these, one for each pumpkin. And I'm just going to tie it off here at the top. All right, I think that looks really cute. So that's going to go on here somewhere. We'll do it later. But I do like how that looks. It's a little rustic looking the way that turned out. So now I also took some of my burnt umber and darkened up the stem a little bit. Now I'm going to be taking that one pick that I used before, and I took off the little raffia looking thingies, and I have these burlap leaves that are from the Dollar Tree, and I want to use some of these berries. Let's cut a few off. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these on first. Then I'm going to figure out how I want to do the rest of them. Let's get that last one on here. Add a little bit more glue there. Nothing is sticking for some reason. I don't know why. Can't get it to stick. And the next thing I want to do is make a ribbon or a bow out of this ribbon. And I just did 2 loops on each side. And I also have some of this burlap looking, I don't even know what it's called exactly, ribbon here that I'm just gonna cut up into pieces, and I'm gonna wire it together and put it inside of the bow. Just a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut off the ends. Kind of fan it out a little bit here. And get it glued down. And I want to add something in the middle of here, so I'm going to take some of this natural Excelsior, pull out a few pieces, and I'm just going to put it in the middle. I'm going to hold it down with a little stick. This glue is hot, I tell you. Just a little bit more. And let's go ahead and just glue this leaf down about right there. To hold that down just a little bit. It keeps moving on me here. Okay. And I'm going to use this rusty star right here and hot glue it right in the middle there. Make sure I get lots of glue in there. You know what, that made that thing hot. Goodness. All right, and that is all I'm going to do for this pumpkin. Now the other one I'm going to do pretty much the same way. I already started off with those raffia pieces, and Dollar Tree also has these bigger leaves. Now the smaller one I cut out to that size, so I went ahead and cut the other one to that because I just thought they were way too big. And I'm just going to hot glue them on and pretty much do the same thing that I did for the other pumpkin. Alright, instead of the Excelsior and everything, I just went ahead and used that ribbon again, and I'm going to hot glue a real acorn in the middle instead of a rusty star like I did the other one. And I did make this ribbon, or this bow, with 3 loops on each side. I just want to keep adding a few more berries here and there. And that is all I'm going to do to this pumpkin. Now, before I show you everything together, how I styled it, I want to give you a haunted house update. Now, I did get it spray painted. I'm going to be hand painting it too. So here's how it looks with the spray paint on it. I did a satin spray paint because that's all I had on hand. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to go over and hand paint it with some other colors. And this piece that's missing here is, this is actually a Fisher Price My Loving Family one. And it was some kind of a piece with a swing on it. So I found this frame at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be cutting it down here, and I'm going to make it a trellis instead. And I'm just going to attach it here, just glue it to that part, and then I'm going to take some modeling clay and do something with a vine or something. And then up here, that's supposed to be a balcony. So check out this out. I have this old plate rail that was on my hutch that I redid. And I'm going to configure this somehow and make a little balcony again up here. I think that'll look really cute. Alright, that's all I've done so far. Now, let's see how I styled my pumpkins. Alright, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it and that I could give you some ideas on how to revamp some of your pumpkins. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.